The use of a slow burn storyline is to give enough time to an angle to unfold before fans realize what's going to happen. Many of the most noteworthy heel turns or character changes in general are the best slow burn storylines in wrestling. A character can easily have one or multiple things happen to slowly start the winds of change. Quite a few wrestlers put the time and effort into setting up their character shift before such a turn happens. WWE and every other wrestling promotion have had angles like this playing into the expectations and beliefs of the audience. Any wrestler to take advantage of that has a great first step to such a personality shift. The following wrestling heel turns had a slow burn story setting it up. Before we dig into today's topic, like this video, share it and give your opinions in comments, and didn't forget to subscribe. On number 8 we have Randy Savage. One of the first major instances of a slow burn heel team featured Randy Savage growing distrustful of Hulk Hogan and Miss Elizabeth when they were a joint act of the Mega Powers. Savage was clearly becoming the heel when as he grew obsessed that Hogan was trying to make a move on Miss Elizabeth. WWE finally pulled the trigger when Savage attacked Hogan to make it clear they were no longer friends. Savage's WWE Championship started as a face, but WWE had the clear plans to turn him heel against Hogan with the slow burn story. Hogan winning the belt from Savage was the top WWE story from all of 1989. Number 7 Bret Hart. WWE had another classic instance of a slow burn heel turn with Bret Hart's character undergoing a few changes in the late 1990s. Bret started to show a new side when referencing growing upset over how the WWE fans were starting to cheer the heel Austin over him. Remembered as an iconic double turn of Hart turning heel and Austin becoming the most beloved babyface. However, the story was set months in advance with Bret constantly complaining about management and other wrestlers in a whiny manner compared to his face run. Number 6 Batista. It became clear that Batista had gone stale after a few years in the top babyface role. Batista started to show signs of slipping back into a selfish heel mindset when working closely with friend Rey Mysterio. A fatal four-way match for the World Championship saw Batista blaming Rey for being responsible for his loss since they were both in the match. Batista attacking Mysterio and delivering his infamous line of, "You were supposed to be my friend," showed him snapping after getting close in his previous defeats. Number 5 Brock Lesnar. WWE made a few changes with Brock Lesnar that saw him jumping back and forth between the babyface and heel roles in his first tenure. Lesnar turned face at the end of his first WWE Championship reign when Paul Heyman betrayed him. Lesnar played a babyface for the next half year until a slow burn storyline paid off. Kurt Angle and Brock sold their friendship is a huge reason for both guys being face. However, Lesnar missing shows and having mysterious injuries set the table for his big swerve. The big reveal of Brock faking an injury saw him aligning with Vince McMahon to get the advantage over Angle. Number 4 Edge. Edge has talked about feeling lost in the 2000s when his babyface character started to grow stale. WWE had Edge return from an injury as a face defeating Randy Orton for the Intercontinental Championship. However, fans started to turn on Edge going back to his hometown, Canadian fans cheering Chris Jericho and Batista over him. WWE ran a slow burn story of Edge growing frustrated with trying to get into the World Championship picture and always being denied. Edge blamed the fans when he finally pulled the trigger to turn heel at Taboo Tuesday 2004. Shawn Michaels winning a fan vote over Edge to challenge Triple H saw Edge costing Michaels the title to fully turn heel. Number 3 CM Punk. WWE did an underrated job perfectly crafting a storyline between Jeff Hardy and CM Punk without everything being obvious. Fans naturally cheered Hardy and started booing Punk due to him cashing in Money in the Bank to become world champion just minutes after Jeff won the belt in a ladder match. Punk making very subtle remarks showed the signs of his straight edge elitism, but he still acted like a babyface while doing it. The heel turn came a while into the story when Punk stopped trying to hide his true feelings and bashed both Jeff and the fan base for falling victim to vices. Number 2 Seth Rollins. The end of the Shield was somehow both out of the blue and well planned out to make us still think about it almost a decade later. Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose started butting heads in early 2014 when both felt the temptation of singles success, while Seth Rollins had to fight to keep them together. The Shield seemed to repair all of their issues with a face turn and strong moments against Evolution, Kane, the New Age Outlaws and the Wyatt family. However, Rollins kept it in his mind that he always had to sacrifice more while the other two showed their egos more. Triple H talked Rollins into betraying Reigns and Ambrose for an all-time shocking moment ending the Shield. Number 1 Chris Jericho. WWE spent almost a full year telling the story of Chris Jericho and Shawn Michaels entering a personal feud. Jericho was the guest referee when Michaels faced Batista when all three were babyfaces. Michaels conned Jericho into thinking he was injured to buy time before hitting Sweet Chin Music on Batista for the win. The story moved forward with Jericho realizing that Michaels manipulated him, and that the audience refused to stop cheering him for it. Jericho spent a few months in denial before